Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So, one of my favorite shows is back. Insecure is back. I love Insecure. So, one of the things that attracted me about Insecure was the character arcs. Like, I feel like I know personally each and every character. Like, yeah, I don't want to tell who is who in my friend group, but like I know all the characters. Like I feel like I can so relate to Issa. I've been Issa before. So this is one of my favorite shows. I really wish it were an hour, but it is 30 minutes and I decided I wanted to go ahead and review this show because I love it so much. So reviewing shows is gonna be an addition. So I decided to review season 3. So here is my review of episode 1, season 3, Insecure Better Like. And I got notes, y'all. I took some notes, but it was so good. I don't even know if I need my notes, but here we go. So we start off season 3, episode 1 with a bang, literally. So we see fine ass Daniel banging somebody's back out. And I thought it was Issa. And I'm like, Issa, girl, no you didn't. Because we know, well, if you don't know, you got to go back and catch yourself up if you didn't see season 2. But at the end of season 2, we see Issa go to Daniel's house because her lease is up. Her life is in a shambles. Her and Lawrence broke up and she has nowhere else to go. She decided to go stay with Daniel. So when this episode started, I'm thinking, oh my God, Issa. Now y'all know Issa be thotting and bopping. But I'm like, really, Issa? So then we quickly find out it's not Issa. It's some other girl that Daniel is laying it down with. And Issa, to her dismay, is in the next room with the pillow over her head. Like, really, dude? Like, I know we just friends. And I know I'm staying in your spare room, but really, dude? So she is disgusted. So she gets up and apparently Issa is driving Lyft because I guess she's trying to get her credit score up. She's trying to get her life right. So she takes the Lyft ride. She goes out and the dude throws up in her car. You know, I've considered doing Lyft before just to fill up some time and make some extra money, but I declare if somebody threw up in my car, that's it. I'm turning, y'all can have all this back. No. So we see Molly. Molly's on the beach and she's sipping a cocktail talking to some fine young man. And he's like, I'm gonna come visit you once you go home. And she's like, yeah, whatever. So we know Molly is still feeling dro, but we're gonna get back to that. So, next day or later that day, Issa runs into Daniel in the bathroom and they have this very awkward exchange. And she's like, hey, did you know I was home last night? And he was like, very casually, like, yeah. And he kept on doing what he was doing. So it looked like Issa was like, really, dude? So she just let it go. So Issa was demoted last season. Because she's always doing the most. She's always doing the most. And I think Dro said that later on in the episode. He told Molly, y'all always doing the most. But Issa's always doing the most. And she got demoted. So her white counterpart has the position that she used to have. The lead position at this, I believe it's a nonprofit that she works for called We Got Y'all. So, you know, Issa sees her counterpart and she's like, look, can you ask the boss lady, when is she going to let me get back out in the field? Because Issa is like at the desk, chewing her fingernails. She don't know what to do with herself. And y'all know Issa cannot be left with too much time on her hands. So her counterpart tells her, look, well, I think now the lady is her supervisor. She tells her, look, I don't want to step on anybody's toes. Sorry, girlfriend. Can't help you. You're going to have to keep making these phone calls. So Issa's like, okay, I mean, what's she going to do? She put herself in this situation, always doing the most. So Daniel is a music producer and he's at the studio with this dude. And this girl is in the booth sounding like nails on a chalkboard, trying to sing her little heart out in her plastic pants. So Daniel tells the dude he's with, like, why you bring her here? She's not talented. And you know, the dude, I guess he's trying to hook up with the girl. And he's like, yeah, you know, she knows such and such, so I'm gonna hook you up. So Daniel like, oh, word? So he goes along with it because he sees, I guess, the bigger picture in having this lady who can't sing in a booth. She was a hot mess. A hot mess. Her and her pants were a hot mess. So Issa picks Molly up from the airport and they go have their little girl time. And I love Molly and Issa's relationship. They really are best friends. Like, they check each other and they keep it moving. Like, I love the dynamic of their friendship. They've had their ups and downs, but they really do love each other as girlfriends. So they're having dinner or lunch, and you know, Molly's catching Issa up on her trip and what's going on with her life now. And Molly gets a call from Dro. So Molly and Dro work my nerves. So Molly and Dro are childhood friends. Dro is married, and he says last season, he tells Molly him and his wife have an open relationship, so him and Molly become a thing. Molly's feelings are involved. Dro, not so much. Dro is in it for the hit it and quit it. Dro is in it for the I'm married, but I can step out on my wife kind of situation. Dro works my nerves. Dro and Molly work my nerves. Molly, girl, you gotta do better. Like, Molly is badass. Molly is an attorney. She is single. She is ready to mingle. I don't know why she has this thing for Dro, but Dro is like her Achilles heel. And for as much as she tries to push him away, he will not go. Like, he won't go, and she won't let him go. For whatever reason. I feel like this season that situation is going to wrap up. Like, last season when I looked at Dro and his wife in the situation, I did not think that his wife knew that he was tiptoeing out. But this episode, I believe, let us know his wife does know that him and Molly are banging. They doing the most. So later on, so Issa and Molly have their girl talk, and Molly is like, you know, you could come stay with me. And Issa's like, no, sis, that's not gonna work out. So after Molly gets this call from Dro, Issa gives her the look like, what you doing? I thought you said you were gonna leave him alone. So Molly was like, don't be giving me no side eye. Issa was like, no, I'm giving you the front eye, it's not the side. So she's like, whatever. So later on, Daniel goes to his sister's house, and his sister is like, I need you to babysit your niece tomorrow. So he's like, well, Issa is still there, and I'm going on a date. And she was like, why is Issa still at your house? It's been a couple weeks. He's like, yeah, I know, but I'm giving her some time, trying to help her out. His sister said, it's pretty interesting that she would decide to move with you. Of all the places she could have gone, why do you think she at your place? So he kind of just blows it off. Although he knows what his sister is saying is the truth, he kind of blows it off like, whatever. She just needs somewhere to stay. So he picks up his guitar and he bounces. So back at home at Daniel's place, him and Issa have like this moment. And Issa is throwing out these little hints and innuendos like, bruh, I know you knew that I was here last night, yet you had company right next door, and I could hear all of that. And so Daniel was like, look, we're just friends, right? You said we just friends. You said you was just staying here because you need a place to stay. Why you care what I'm doing and who I'm doing it with? And Issa is like, okay, bet. So they have this moment where he tries to go in with a kiss, and Issa is like, nah, we're not doing that. It's not that type of party. So he was like, okay, I got you. So Molly and Dro are, they have mad chemistry. Molly and Dro have mad chemistry, but it's all wrong because nothing good is going to come out of this situation, Molly. Nothing good. Like, in this situation, Molly is going to be left with her little feelings hurt, and Dro is going to go on to the next hot thing. So anyway, because they got good chemistry, Molly is up on the counter and Dro is doing what he knows, okay? So then we see them in the bedroom. They're having pillow talk. And it's almost like Molly feels like they're in this relationship. But they're not in a relationship because he's married. So Dro was like, I'm going to go make you some pancakes, blah, blah, blah. So she was like, oh, okay. Okay, Zaddy. So he gets a call, and it's his wife. So when Candace calls, Molly decides now, again, she wants boundaries. She wants boundaries because she wants to be in control of this situation with her and Dro. Like, she does not want Dro to have the chess piece over her. So she's like, look, either we're going to be acquaintances that hook up on occasion, but we're not going to have this pseudo relationship. Like all the phone calls, all the texts and all of that. I'll call you when I need to get something, but we're not doing this. So he was like, whatever. All right then. Because, you know, Dro is selfish. He's in it for his own selfish gain. Here we go with Issa at work. Ugh, always doing the most. So Issa decides that she has this list that her supervisor gave her. Some of the names on the list are crossed out. And earlier in the episode, Issa asked her supervisor why the names crossed out. And she said because those community partners no longer want to work with us. So because Issa is Issa, she decides to call them up. Like, why y'all don't want to work with? We got y'all no more. So most of the feedback that she gets is the minority was not represented well in the company. So she decides that this is her end. She's going to go to her boss and say, hey, this is why they don't want to work with us anymore. So her boss comes back at her like, who asked you to do that? Like, ma'am, this is the reason why you're riding the desk now. This is why you're no longer in the field, because you're always doing the most. They should have called this episode Doing the Most, because that was the common theme throughout the whole episode. So Issa is looking like she got a whole egg on her face, like, damn, I messed up again. And her counterpart is sitting there like, yeah, I'm not going to get in the middle of that. So after Issa leaves her boss's office after getting her ass handed to her, she gets a text from Daniel like, earlier you said you want a heads up if I'm having company. Well, here's your heads up. So she's looking like, ugh, what the heck am I going to do? Well, I'm waiting for him to finish with his booty call. So she calls Molly, who's getting ready for her date with Dro, because earlier Molly was getting a pedicure and Dro called her with the whoop-de-wop. And she's like, Dro, I thought we said we not doing the phone call. So he like, oh no, I'm just checking up on you, friend. Let me see what's going on with you, friend. So she tells him that the negotiations for her new job went well. And he's like, great, let's go celebrate. And she's like, I just told you, you know, we need boundaries. And he's like, friends celebrate with each other, right? So she's like, oh, yeah, because you know I like you, Big Daddy. So, so she decides, okay, one little harmless drink, ain't nothing wrong with that. Molly. So Molly is home getting ready for her date. She is beating her face, and Issa calls like, can you come ride with me? I want to go out and do a couple rides with Lyft. Can you come out? So Molly is like, oh, girl, I'm getting ready for something. But all right then. So they go out, and Issa is a damn mess. Issa decides she wants to call this the party lift. So they pick up some girls who Issa has Capri Suns in the car. Ma'am, she got Capri Suns and candy like she's picking up little kids to go on a play date. But anyway, she's picking these girls up. They give her 5 stars. She's ecstatic about that. Then they pick up this guy who I feel like he's going to be a recurring character on this season. But they pick up Nathan. I believe that's his name. Nathan gets in and they're vibing with him. So they decide they're going to go get some food or something. So Dro is texting Molly like, I'm on my way. Be there soon. So she's like, I'm running a little bit late. I'll be there soon. So they get in, they chilling with this guy, whatever, chit-chatting back and forth. And so they decide to pick up another fare. So this guy, real big dude, gets in, and Issa's so stupid. She's like, oh, that's more than one dude? So he gets in, and he decides he wants to get blazed up in the back seat. So Molly is like, Issa, we got a situation back here. So Issa's like, hello, sir. Yeah, please, I would appreciate if you don't smoke in my car. He was like, you said this the party lift. I'm going to go ahead and spark it up. So Nathan is like, dude, the lady asked you not to do that. He takes the blunt out of the guy's hand in mid-puff. And the dude is like, I know you ain't just throwing my stuff out the window. So he was like, yeah, I did. So they get into a brawl in the back of Issa's little, I don't know what kind of car she has, but it was not big enough for no full-on brawl. So they get to knuck if you buck, right? Knuck if you buck in the back of the second car. It is just the most chaotic Issa-like event going on in the back of this car. So I am crying, laughing like, bruh, are y'all serious? So they get into the fight. Nathan jumps out like, I gotta go. I cannot get wrapped up in this. So that's why I feel like he's gonna be a recurring character. But anywho, he bounces. And the guys, you can hear her moaning and groaning in the backseat like, my eye, my eye. And it's so funny because this guy, Nathan, was like half this dude's size, and he bore him out in that backseat. So he leaves. So Issa goes home. And oh, one of the things that I think is cool about Insecure is that there's a show within the show. So last season, they had this parody of, I believe it was a parody of the show Underground, which is no longer on. Underground was such a great show. But I believe it was a parody of Underground last season. That was the show within the show. So this time, there's a show within a show. It kind of reminds me of Martin. I don't know. I guess we'll get to see what that show is about. But Issa is watching that show. Issa starts talking to Daniel, and she starts telling him how she's grateful that he has allowed her to stay there even though she's not paying him. And then she says to him, you hurt my feelings. Like, you know that I have feelings for you, and you bringing other girls all up in here. Like, that's not cool. So he was like, I mean, you said we just friends, right? That's what you said. So he's like, okay, cool, bet. And he just walks away. So again, there's Issa looking crazy as always. So she just, her phone gave her a notification, and it was Nathan left her a $50 tip. So I'm assuming Nathan was the guy from the ride from earlier who got into a fight. So when she sees that he left her a $50 tip, she has the look on her face like, and she kind of chuckles to herself. So then she decides to go ahead and turn her Lyft service back on and go ahead back out and make her some weekend money, honey. That was my recap of Insecure, episode 1 of season 3, Better Like. I liked it. It was good. It did not disappoint. So I'm interested. I feel like there was a cliffhanger with Issa's friend Tiffany. So Tiffany is the bougie light-skinned friend who announced that she was pregnant the end of season 2. But there was a little bit of a cliffhanger because when they got together for the watch party to watch the little parody show, Tiffany's husband said Tiffany is over Issa's watching the show. He told that to Lawrence and Lawrence's other friend. But Tiffany wasn't at Issa's because Tiffany called. Issa said Tiffany called and said she's not feeling well. She's not coming. So where was she? I'm interested to see if they are going to talk about that this season. Because I feel like Tiffany is like the perfect, I got everything together. Everything is perfect in my life. But I feel like it's something scandalous going on. So I guess we got to wait and see. So I'm definitely interested to see if there's something that's going to spark between Issa and this new guy. And I am interested to see what's going to unfold with Issa and Daniel, because I feel like Daniel cares about Issa. They knew each other when they were in college. They were in love, I believe, back in the day. Life happened, so now they're here. So I know that he loves her, but their relationship is complicated. And with them living together, it's even more complicated. So I'm interested to see what unfolds where that is concerned. And this Molly and Dro situation. Molly girl, get you your own man. Get you your own man. Don't have Candace's man. Nothing good is going to come of this situation with you and lanky ass Dro. Dro works my nerves. He think he is so suave and debonair with his little crooked smile. I am not for Dro, the character, or the guy who plays him. Because I don't know if you guys remember, but the young lady who last season Lawrence was dating, I can't think of what her name is, pretty brown skin girl. Lawrence was dating her, and they broke up, and she called him a fuck boy, and he was appalled at the fact that she had called him out on his fuck boy antics because he was a fuck boy. So that young lady and the guy that plays Dro, apparently they just had a baby together. So I don't think that young lady, I believe her name is Dominique Perry, is the actress's name in real life. I don't think she'll be back this season. But yeah, her and the guy that plays Dro allegedly had a pretty little girl together. So yeah, that's just a little bit of behind the scenes info on Insecure. That's my review on Insecure. Hope you guys come back. I just decided to add this little segment to my channel. It's mindless. There's few shows that I watch, but Insecure is one. I definitely watch my Ratchet reality TV. I try to catch up on that a couple times a week. I don't know if I'm going to review any of those 11 hip-hops, but I might. I'm going to see how this goes. So stay tuned for my Insecure Season 3, Episode 2 recap next week. Please like, please share, please subscribe, please come back. I'm really trying to build this YouTube channel up. YouTube is something that I enjoy doing. I love being behind the camera and in front of the camera. This allows me to explore my creative side. So I really thank you guys for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.